Okay, listen to me. Get a pencil and a piece of paper. We're going to do a very easy drawing exercise anyone can do. You don't need to be a good artist or know how to draw. You just need a couple of simple materials in front of you and to be able to breathe. This exercise is going to help you maybe not solve your problems, but at least identify your problems, because some of our problems are buried very deep within us. Let's start on the outside. The first thing I want you to do is draw a picture of the universe. I think the universe is roughly circle shaped, maybe more chicken nugget shaped. That's okay. And then I want you to draw a dot in this shape where you think you are. Now, right off the bat, I thought maybe I was right here in the middle. I kind of feel the universe all around me, but on second thought, I think maybe I'm kind of over here, because assuming I'm in the middle of the universe, the center of the universe, seems a little bit presumptive. I think maybe I'm just kind of on the outskirts, maybe even closer to the edge right here, and a smaller dot. Something to think about anyways. Next, I want you to draw your life, how it is right now. For me, I'm thinking this is, when you do these, don't think too much. Start drawing before you've decided what to draw. It's got some wobbly shapes here, and it gets even worse here. And then it's got some crazy parts I can't control over there. All right? Reflect on the shape you've drawn for a second. Put it aside. Now I want you to draw the shape that you want your life to be. For some people, I think it might be a square, right? A square life might represent stability, predictability, symmetry. Your life is just the same in all areas, and that's okay. It's very rigid and safe, okay? Or you might have like a life that's like one of these shapes. Yeah. What would a life that looks like this represent to you? A bunch of different overlapping areas. Maybe there's even one of these. This is for a person who has a bunch of different things that maybe, this part of their life they keep separate from this part of their life, and this part of their life they keep completely separate from this part of life, and there's some overlapping areas. For me, I think I would want a life that has a wide base. Okay, I'm starting there. Rounded corners. I don't want any corners that are too sharp in my life. But then it goes up. I think I do want it to get a little narrower towards the top. This for me represents a little bit of, I want a little bit of excitement, like a little bit of, just a tiny bit of weirdness here, just to keep me interested, right? But I want most of it to be this area, this low base. This shape is not easily tipped over, but there's still some fun stuff up here that I can go check out sometimes if I want to. Okay. All right, now I want you to draw your body if it was an alien body from a different universe. And by a different universe, I mean one where there are different even rules of science. A lot of aliens you see on TV, in the movies, have a lot of the same features. Arms, legs, heads, mouths. It doesn't need to be like that. Let's try again. If you drew something that looks a little bit too recognizable, maybe it shouldn't be like that, right? This could be your body. This could be you. Don't be too careful. Maybe if you had been born in a different universe, I don't know if it's a parallel universe, that almost seems too familiar. This, you know, maybe in school these days people draw stick men like this, right? Circle and 5 lines. Maybe in a different universe people draw stick men like this. Maybe that's a stick man for other universes. Doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense to them. And our stick men look like total nonsense. I don't know what this has to do with anything, but it popped into my head. Right now, I want you to draw the main thing that you're worrying about. Now, this isn't going to be easy, not because drawing is hard, but because the thing that you're worrying about is probably, if you're anything like me, been buried deep inside. Because you've been pushing it away out of your mind because it's annoying and scary. So I drew this without thinking just now, and all I was holding in my mind is I was trying to reach towards that thing I was worrying about. And I don't know what this shape means, but that's okay. This is just an attempt to reach, to find, to figure out. Let's try one more time. The main thing that's bothering me, if there is a main thing, there's got to be, look, because I feel like there is, that ideal life that I was imagining earlier. There's got to be something that's keeping me from getting to that, right? Because I feel like right now my life is more like, it's more like, there's some good parts to it. Like it does kind of have a stable base. It has this stable base down here, but then up here, it's getting a little too crazy like this. And I don't really like all these parts. So I'm trying to figure out, obviously, there are some like outside things coming in, poking it, messing it up a little bit. But I think a lot of it is me, my inability to have discipline. That's what this shape is, discipline. My inability to, maybe that's my main thing that I think I'm missing. Maybe that's my worry. Maybe I'm worried that I lack this shape, this pillar shape. Maybe I'm annoyed with myself. Maybe I just wish I had more of a pillar shape in my brain, right? I think I'm telling myself, and I'm annoyed with myself, that my life, almost skipped a paper here. I think I'm telling myself my life could be so much better if it only weren't for my own shortcoming, my own laziness, right? Maybe let me draw this. Yeah. A bigger pillar. It's a boring shape, but I think through this weird little exercise I found something. At the same time, I don't want to beat myself up, okay? And we don't want too much of that boring rectangle, okay? Because you remember that life I drew for myself had a bunch more crazy shapes up here. I never envisioned that I would have just a rectangle for a life. So how do I merge these two ideas together? The weird triangle with the shapes at the top and this pillar I think I'm missing. I don't know. How have your drawings been turning out so far, by the way? You're following along with every step of this, right? All right. Let's take a short detour. And there could be some other frustration. For example, I recently had a breakup, which feels kind of like this. Don't think, just draw. It could be that your thing that you had recently that's causing you some angst and distrust and depression. If you're having any of that, isn't a breakup. Maybe you're having financial problems. Maybe you lost someone close to you. Maybe you're having trouble in school, or I don't know. Everyone having different things. Just draw with it while you're holding that thing in your mind. If you're anything like me, it's a lot of frustration and sadness. And so I'm just kind of doing a lot of like frustrating scribbling like this. And that's okay. That's what came out of the pound of the paper when I was thinking about my breakup. You know? I think it's a lot of wondering where things are supposed to be connecting. You know, maybe I'm wondering if I was supposed to be connecting these, or it's a lot of disconnections. Let me draw what I think a good relationship would be. The type of relationship I want to be in. That's a tough one. For some reason, I'm drawing like these weird oval shapes. I think I'm seeing a lot of overlapping. As you do these exercises, you can actively observe your own brain. That's what I like about them. I feel like that's it right there. And we can look back at what I just drew and see how this looks like this kind of blown up. Or maybe this is this not fully assembled or assembled incorrectly. Or maybe it's two different ideas of what a relationship should be, and they're just not connecting. It's like if you took two different Lego sets and tried to assemble them together, they're never really going to work. Now, if you were a all-powerful God, what would your essence look like? If you had no body, right? I think having a body would make you less powerful, because it means you're like confined to this mortal coil. So just like if your followers, your worshipers had to, they probably wouldn't. You might make it illegal, but I'm drawing like I almost think this is like sacrilegious to my own, I'm thinking about my own godhood. If I was an all-powerful God, I'm already saying, don't draw me like that. I could see. I'm already seeing why some religions say don't draw God, because it seems impossible. All right. What if then, ignore the God thing, you were just you, an all-powerful you? Okay. Yeah, there's my face. Oh, look, I'm drawing something representative. I don't really know what I'm doing here. It's weird because I don't really have hair. I don't know if there's space to add hair here, and it looks like I'm in pain. Okay, let's take one more step back, because I don't really know what I figured out with this. Maybe too much power is painful. Let's see what happens if I try to draw myself just as me right now. Not all powerful. In fact, I don't know if I have hardly any power. Wait. Before I draw me, let me try drawing. I don't think I have superpowers, but I have powers. For example, I have the power of observation, which I would draw. If I had to draw it in a doodle, I would probably draw the power of observation, like. See, this is my eye over here, and this is me latching on to like every little thing. Nothing goes unobserved. I think I'm a good observer. Like, what do you think you're good at? Draw it right now. Just a quick little sketch like this, okay? I can't say it enough. They don't have to be good drawings. All right, what else am I good at? I'm good at pretending to be calm. All right? So it would look like this. This is me. Like this. This is me on the outside. This is my outside. In fact, I'm realizing now this is less of a power. This is more of like some weird coping thing. And this is all the... I used to think this was good to be able to, ball it all up inside and be able to breathe and not get excited when crazy things are happening to me. But then I realized I would take this, look, let me draw the same thing smaller. Right here. Here I am. Calm and perfect. Crazy things happening here. But I'm thinking it's a strength at the moment. But then I think if we go back to relationships, maybe there's another person over here. I don't know how to draw them. I don't want to assume. I'm just going to draw a circle, okay? It's just like a default shape. If this is the person I'm trying to have a relationship, they are looking at me. This is their vision cone, okay? They're looking, and they can't see all of this because I've spent so long practicing being calm because I thought it was a cool thing or a good thing, and they're just like, what's going on? And then eventually this happens. Eventually, this is me. Right? Has this ever happened? Eventually I can't hold it in anymore. And it's not like I freak out and become angry or violent or I start screaming and all this stuff comes out in some unhealthy way. It's just that maybe this picture isn't accurate at all. Maybe I jumped to a conclusion here. Maybe we go back to this. It just always stays in here. And then this person keeps looking and is like, wow, nothing affects them. They don't have any feelings. Nothing's going on. They don't have any, sometimes it's good to stay calm when there's, someone's cutting you off in traffic. Have you heard of cars? Sorry, I just wanted to see if I could doodle a car real quick. Turns out it's mildly difficult. Anyways, but then it's difficult when this person wants to know how you feel because that's what you're supposed to do in a relationship, share feelings. But then I've trained for so long to not share. It's hard for me to figure out how to do this. Wait, what? Okay. Let me see. What would it look like if I wasn't bottling them up? Let me ask. I don't know if I figured that out. Okay, I'm drawing the same shape again. All right, maybe it would just have... I can't fundamentally change who I am all of a sudden. And maybe I can just add some holes. Right? I still have all these walls, but maybe I can work on adding some holes and carefully... should it be careful? I think it should, right? Carefully let the feelings out when appropriate. especially towards the person I'm in a relationship with. And I'm assuming, I don't know, I think I had this fear that if I didn't, I think I had this fear that if I let all this out, I mean, they kind of, in this doodle, they kind of look like bad smells. They look a little bit stinky, right? I think I assumed that they were stinky, that they wouldn't be appreciated. But then if you don't share them, it's even worse because I don't know. It's like getting fed a plate of food that has no scent at all. It's not very appetizing. It's like, who wants to eat that? I feel like I'm on the verge of something here, but I don't know if I figured it out completely. But I'm making progress. There's just some fear here that I think sabotaged my last relationship. That I was too good at compartmentalizing, too good at balling all up inside. Maybe if I just had a thinner wall and stuff, certain things could leak through, and some things could stay inside. I think also I have this fear that if I let too many things through, then I'll become a whiner, right? I'll become one of those people that just complains about everything. And I have this vision for myself that I can be a little bit this shape, right? This is a stoic shape. I want to be stoic, strong. I want to be able to put up with things. And so I think that, if something that I don't like happens, I think I'm good at justifying it to myself, figuring out a way why it doesn't matter really that much. But then if I never provide that feedback to the other person, is it really a relationship? Or is it just two people next to each other? Okay. I'm doing this without a shirt on or pants on, and it's making my armpits sweat a lot. This is what my armpits are like right now. Here's my side, and then my armpits are coming down like this. Here's my arm, and then here's like my shoulder, right? And then there's just like sweat coming down like this. I usually draw with a shirt on. It's just I'm trying to be vulnerable, not really for all of you, but for myself. So it was just kind of a ritualistic thing to expose myself physically so I could do it emotionally as well. That's all. Let's pick up on something I touched briefly on a second ago. Draw a shape, a pretty simple shape, or not. Get as crazy as you want, actually. Draw a shape that depicts how you wish other people saw you. We all have an outward appearance that we all wish to project, and I think sometimes we wish we could see into other people's minds just so we knew what they thought of us. I don't know what this shape is, but I feel like it's a little bit similar to how I wish my life was. It's broad and sturdy on the bottom, a little bit narrower towards the top. I think I want people to think I'm pretty normal, even though I do some weird things. Maybe I should add some decorations on that. Like, I want to be a little bit weird, right? I want to have some fluff, some decorations. All right. Now, with this shape, I want you to draw how you feel like, this is a tough one, because this is how you wish other people saw you, but now try to figure out how you actually are, and it needs to fit inside this shape, all right? Now, the way I actually am, I feel like it's a lot more convoluted. Like, I feel like I'm a little bit squished up inside of here. Right? Maybe a lot squished up, kind of like this. it's not, it might be a kind of cramped. I'm like, I've sardined myself into this little shape I'm trying to project. Would it be a lot more healthy if maybe the shape the way I wish other people saw me was more. I mean, is it possible to not wish other people saw me in a way? Is it possible to be that disconnected? Is it possible that I could just exist like this, totally free, just like a blob, like in like those, just like this? Is this the ideal way to exist? Like those, like a blob of water floating in the International Space Station, floatless. I mean, weightless, just held in by, I don't know what this is, like surface tension. You can see him, the International Space Station, just bloop, 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 bloop. No container. I guess the surface tension is its container. I feel like this is some weird Buddhism concept that I'm brushing up against. But I think it's impossible to not have a concept of what other people think of us. But what's the best solution? Maybe the best solution is just to have as big of an idea as possible, right? If I draw this shape like this, like, I don't care if people see me, you know, not that it's a square, but I don't care if they see, me pushing the limits this way or that way. I don't see if they see me way over here or way over here. Then I'm free to bounce around over here, be this blob, or expand and be a blob over here, or just, chill and be a little blob right here or right here. Maybe it's learning to give up, and maybe it can be just like maybe if we could draw a dotted line. Maybe that's the least we can ask for. I don't know. Because I don't know if there's anyone out there that truly doesn't care. There's some people that seem like they don't care at all. But for some reason, I'm having a hard time believing that nobody really cares. I mean, we live in a society. Am I right? I don't know what the solution is. Maybe you'll figure it out as you do this. As you try to draw the best version, the best, most comfy version of how other people could see you. Maybe it's just something with, wait. Maybe it's just a few defining lines like this, but just some gaps, right? So then you can reach out if you want to, like this. It's like people that think you're around somewhere around here. Okay, I think I've gone too far. I'm starting to lose myself. All right, this time draw. Draw a good night's sleep. And we're going to use the whole paper. Up at this corner, this is going to be you going to sleep. And then you're going to be sleeping deeper and deeper. Yes. Deeper and deeper. It gets more and more soothing. And then I feel like sometimes in the middle of the night, things get a little weird as I get too hot or have a weird dream or have to get up and go to the bathroom. And then eventually I settle back in. And then I have to readjust my sheets or something. Yes. And then there's a point here near the end where I wake up too early. I go back to sleep. And then there's this crazy thing that happens at the end where I wake up and usually a lot of the time I want more sleep. Let's address the two different ways of waking up, okay? Because look, here's the two ends. This dotted line is like the rest of the night going up this way. The good way to wake up is to wake up kind of naturally and feel ready to wake up, okay? And it just kind of peters out and the day begins. But then the other way to wake up is to have your alarm go off, and then you kind of feel like you're entering a world of pain and struggle, and immediately I feel like a lot of days begin like that for a lot of people, and that's a rough way to begin the day. To start the day with like an existential struggle, like being suddenly pulled out of unconsciousness to consciousness, feeling you're not, like you're almost not existing, to being forced to exist again. Okay, let's try the same thing, going up and down as a timeline, but your life so far, okay? I'm going to start with a dot for my birth. It's kind of a big entrance right here. Boom, born. And then there's a very tumultuous time here where I was a baby, and I feel like I was struggling and had no autonomy. I don't think I liked that. It's a bad feeling. And then there's this weird childhood thing that I don't really remember much of. And then here is it's a combination of weirdness, of uncertainty, of like childhood and teenage years. It's a good feeling because you're a little bit carefree. You don't have to pay rent or bills or taxes or support yourself. At least I didn't. But also you're still wondering about life. And then here is where I am an adult. And then I'm paying taxes and supporting myself and wondering what life is about. And still, I guess. And I feel like I start going through like more stages. Like I move from place to place, and then weird things happen. Time passes weirdly fast. Like sometimes it just shoots by, and then I'm stuck here doing this, and then I enter some other little stage where I'm like going to school or something. Is that my life right there? Draw a picture of yourself that you think encapsulate a shape that shows what you were like as a kid. Like I think I was like once again, don't overthink this too much. Don't overthink it at all. These are like self-made Rorschach tests, okay? It's like you hold an idea in your head, draw it really quick, and then you sit back and look and think, why did I draw that? I don't know why I drew that. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Let me know if you get anything from this one. Me being a kid. Maybe I feel like there's some playfulness up here. Some maybe reaching out. Look at the base again. I keep drawing this base when I look at myself. When I consider myself, I keep drawing a wide base. I don't know why that's so important to me. I think for a long time in my life, I think I feared having a narrow base. I feared my life looking like this, right? I feared wobbling one direction or like completely falling over, right? And I worked really hard. I feel like maybe I was. Maybe, you know how I drew this shape earlier? This pillar shape that represented discipline that I was searching for? I think at one point I did have this. And I used this shape to slowly widen my base, right? To become more stable so that I would become less stressed, because I didn't want to worry about falling over. I didn't want to have to worry about anything. Like, I wanted to be self-sufficient, financially secure. But I think what happened is maybe I ended up here, something like this, right? And that pillar disappeared. Now I just have this. The pillar got absorbed. And now this shape is is dissolving as I envision that shape I drew earlier, which was something like this. I'm getting farther and farther away from that pillar shape. How do I reincorporate? How do I mix these two ideas, right? Is there a way to bring the pillar back into this combination of stability and fun and excitement and random things? I don't know. I think this shape. Let me just draw the top of it. Like, what is this shape here? I think this represents my ability to, like, go on trips when I want, or buy weird outfits for videos when I want to. Just having a little bit of a disposable income for weird little projects, or to buy a new, weird little synthesizer or something, a weird instrument, like some amount of freedom for random things, and to not be constrained. Like, if the top of my life looked like this, if my triangle went up like this, I think I would be afraid of that. But that's a problem, because this shape looks a lot like this shape, the discipline that I've been searching for, or the discipline I know I'm missing. So I want something in my life that seems diametrically opposed to what I know I need. Maybe we can compromise. Is that bad? Maybe we can have the strong base. The strong base and the pillar, the discipline, and then just a little bit of fun at the top, right? This looks like some weird scientific thing. Some weird beaker with it's exploding or on fire, bubbling over, which is cool. I don't mind my life looking like that. Okay, now, without looking, draw your belly button. I think mine looks something like this. Maybe like this. I think I messed up. Yeah, I did. It actually just looks like this. It's it's just fat and fat, especially when I'm sitting like this. All right, now look right here into your nose. Draw your nose as you can see it, looking down on it from your eyes. You might have to, if you can't cross your eyes, you won't be able to do this very well, but I feel like we can all see our nose in our peripheral vision a little bit. I kind of see something like this. I don't know what this means, but I'm just trying new things to see if anything comes from it. Also see a little bit of like mustache. See a little bit of like my own mustache somehow. This is my own nose as I see it, from both eyes. All right, on the right side of the paper, that's this side over here, there is some perfect vision of your future, all right? Just draw a shape. It doesn't have to be any of the shapes we talked about before. It just represents the perfect version of your future if you somehow, impossibly, did everything right and everything worked out and you never had any bad luck or anything. But then over here, I want you to draw. This is your past and present, and this is it's going to be three shapes. It's like your past, like this, and then your present. It's like on the front of those Animorphs books. I just want you to see how maybe you can only see this shape right here when you look at yourself, this middle shape, and before you could only see this shape, but it could eventually turn into something like this. Unfortunately, sometimes it feels like this shape is like, I feel like I'm like, this shape is being like attacked by this shape, by my present. I feel like my perfect future is being almost assaulted by my present. Like I'm actively fighting against becoming that, even though it would be nice, right? But I don't know why I'm fighting against it. I think it's because I have my present has a lot. My present guy, this little wobbly self. I don't know why I keep drawing this shape, but there's got to be some reason. My little wobbly self, it's like it's not good. He's for some reason this guy is not friends with the future self, which I'm drawing really small here because it's in the distance. All right. This guy is very, very selfish, right? He's saying, me, me, me. And it takes a lot for him to do anything for this guy, for the future guy. And I don't know what it takes. Like, this guy only likes doing things that feel good right now. It's like, he has a hard time well, maybe it makes sense. Like, how, if something feels good for this guy, something is feeling really good for this guy, it doesn't feel good for this guy. This guy is feeling it. This guy's just like, I have no concept of that. Maybe that's why. Somehow we need to get better at merging these two. Sorry, these are alien. I mean, these arrows are supposed to be arrows pointing together, not an X like it looks like. These two need to. I mean, I know they are merging together just through time. But also, there's this thing as this guy, the present guy, the wobbly one, the more selfish he is, the more the universe splits, right? And he goes down a different path. Because there's one path where he becomes more like the ideal future that I would like to have, where everything's better. And then there's another version where he could become even weirder and worse and more miserable. This is more selfish. It's hard to write this tiny with a Sharpie. The selfish path, this is the present. I don't mean it's bad to be selfish. I mean, it is kind of a little bit, depending on the situation. I'm just saying, this guy, my present guy, just only likes doing things for the present. This is like some weird little demon inside of me I'm fighting against, I guess. These are very half-baked metaphors, but I need you to do them. Now, if you could explode things with your own mind, just through your mind power, right? And then you messed up one day and you exploded yourself, draw a picture of what that looks like. Like, what if, you know how sometimes people shoot a gun or something and the bullet gets like stuck in the barrel and the whole gun explodes? What if that happened with your mind exploding powers? That's what I'm drawing right now. I need you to do it too. Because our minds are very strong, but I don't want us to get too carried away. I feel like that never happens to people with I mean, maybe it does. Depends which TV show you're watching. This is me exploding. I'm just trying to teach myself to be a little bit cautious, I guess. This is like a word of warning, like when they leave pirates hanging by the bay, like, be ye warned. If you were a spaceship, draw yourself as a spaceship. Very simple and quick. I'm going to do like a top-down view. A few little like this. All these exercises are more about just doing it than doing it well. Here's the top profile. Here's like the engine. Here's like it's like a little 1 or 2 seater. I just want to like, I'm a type of spaceship that just like zooms around fast. I don't really know what I'm doing here. It's okay. It's weird that when I drew myself as a spaceship, I didn't do this on purpose, that it looked so much like some of these other shapes I've been drawing about myself. Anyone else freaked out by that? I did not do that on purpose, I promise. Oh, okay, maybe is working too well. Okay, draw a circle. On the outside of that circle, draw another circle. Below that circle, directly below it, draw a line with a square at the bottom of it. Come up around, put 2 dots, keep going around, a circle, a triangle, and then connect to that second circle you drew. Straight down from that second circle, come down again and draw a square next to the first square. Now you might think, what is this? It's not done yet. We need 2 more lines. Right here, and then right here. All right? If you draw this shape, you will get a minor superpower. I can't tell you which one or how quickly it will manifest. It might take 1 to 2 weeks for shipping, not normal shipping from Jeff Bezos, but it's like kind of an interdimensional, ethereal shipping through, between universes type thing. Draw this shape just like I showed you, and something good will happen to you. You'll become more powerful. I practiced developing that technique over 10,000 years of practice. Now I want you to examine deep within, and I want you to draw yourself at the microscopic level. Okay? It's like you've got a lot of we're built up of like a lot of little blobs, right? It's like a lot of little things. I don't really know how it works, but it's like a lot of little things squished next to each other. Are they like there's like, maybe they're like things within things, right? Maybe there's some little bigger things within things. Something like that. That could be something that represents us at a microscopic level. It looks kind of healthy. It could be worse. I'm not too angry at that. This is what I wouldn't want to see. If I drew myself at a microscopic level, I'm going to keep this right here because I want to use it for reference. I feel like I wouldn't want to see something with too many sharp corners, right? I kind of want my microscopic self to be nice and blobby and everything just kind of squished together well. I don't have a good reason for that. It's just maybe it's just because I've seen a lot of pictures of how things should look at the microscopic level. But if you drew something like this, there's either something wrong with you mentally, or you just haven't looked at as many microscope pictures as I have. Okay, now draw yourself. No, sorry. Draw a planet. Actually, yes. I meant to say just draw a circle, but what I'm saying is draw yourself as a planet. There's a lot of different ways a planet can go. It can just be like a barren hunk of rock, right? It could look like this with like some meteor holes. It's just kind of there, floating in space, probably flying through space. Let me ask you this. If you were a planet, would you have moons flying around you? Some moons of planets I've seen, they're kind of oblong. They're kind of like, they're nugget shaped. All right? Yeah, you might be the type of planet that is a gas giant, right? Those look like this. I don't know why I started out by giving a gas giant a belt. They don't all have belts. Some of them do, and some of them don't. I don't know what the significance of a belt is. Something about attraction. It's similar to moons. I mean, these can also have moons. But there's cool swirly things that these have, right? I think I might be. I don't know. I think I want to be a gas giant, but I don't want to be giant. I wish there was a way to be a gas planet, but not be a giant. But I think you have to be giant to be a gas giant, because isn't there like a little dense center? But you can't fly all the way through these, right? You would hit something solid at the middle, or would you? Or does the gas just get denser and denser? Would you hit like a solid ball of gas? Is that a thing? Or, of course, the other option is you could be an Earth-like, like a hospitable planet. I'm drawing some random thing with like continents, right? It's my version of Earth-like hospitable planet with land and water and, maybe moons, maybe a belt. You can have an Earth-like planet with a belt. You can customize yourself when you're a planet, right? Yeah. All right, I've decided I would be, and maybe this is telling that I want to be an impossible planet. I want to be like a Venus-sized, which is pretty small, not the smallest, a Venus-sized gas planet. That's what I want to be. With maybe like a couple little malformed moons, just so I don't get lonely. I don't want to be one of those crazy, like Jupiter has like 18 moons or something. That's excessive, and I don't need a big asteroid. A big belt of frozen ice and debris and stuff like that. Or, I don't know what it would say about you if you wanted to be an asteroid belt, or like a comet that only comes around once every few or 1,000 years. Or if you wanted to be the sun, if you wanted to be a star, go for it. I'm not here to tell you which celestial body can or can't be, but it does make me wonder what it says about you. And all the conclusions that you get from these things, like if I asked you to draw yourself as a polygon and I drew myself as a triangle, all the conclusions you get from these exercises are irrefutable. Okay? These are conclusive. Like me drawing this weird, upside down, slightly askew triangle. You know, I'm putting this one on my fridge because it gives me a lot to think about. But maybe I could put it on my fridge this way and a little bit askew so that the triangle could be even and right side up. But is that cheating? Okay, we're almost done. Just go ahead and draw the feeling you think you have most of the time. You wake up, you're going to sleep, as you're going throughout the day. Just like, it could be a combination of things. Just some lines that represent your standard state of mind. Okay? This is what I ended up drawing. It's like, I think this is like anxiety underneath determination. I think that's what I've got going on. What happened to you? What did you draw? Like, I wish I had more of this. I wish it was more just determination. Like me just making, and then like over here, just like, this is like feelings of like, I don't know if creativity is a feeling, just like branching out, doing things, creating. This is like, I don't like the little feelings of the chaotic uncertainty of anxiety. Last night, for example, as I was going to sleep, I thought my house was going to blow up for no reason. I was just pretty sure it could at any second. That's what these little feelings are. I think I just want a little more feelings of like certainty. That's what these broad, steady shapes and strokes feel like. I don't want to be worrying about stuff. Okay? Okay, draw yourself as a tree. Draw the ground first, and then draw a person for scale first. I'm going to draw my person pretty small, just a stick figure, okay, like this. Just a little guy or girl. And then I think my tree is kind of like this, and then I'm a little bit scared because I feel like I'm drawing either a dead or a tree without leaves. And I didn't expect that, but it's just kind of happening. I was expecting to draw a big leafy oak tree. I don't like that, but that's what happened. We're a victim to our own brains, and we're stuck with them. All right, draw your neurons. And I think neurons like zip around. Like, what kind of energy do they have? I think mine's kind of go like this. They go into like different spots, making connections. They have kind of fast movements, but then like gentle curves. I think if my brain is really working well and firing on all cylinders, that's kind of an average day for me. It's not bad, but I think on a great day, there'd be more like less wasted movement. Maybe is maybe better, but also it feels a little less creative, more efficient, but less creative. So I might like the other one better. Also, I'm pretty sure neurons don't actually just fly around the brain. I think there's something about synapses, or who knows. Okay, I need you to draw a quick, simple representation of your torso, okay? Just like this. And your nipples. If you have boobs, you can add them or not. Oh, my belly button was there, right? If you had to add a third nipple, if you don't have one already, where would you put it? One option is to put it right in the middle somewhere so it's symmetrical. You could hide it kind of under an armpit. You could put it up here over your belly button. It's a tough choice. I feel like it's a tough choice because I've seen some people with third nipples, and I don't think any of them got to choose where to put it. They just have to live with it, and it's not ever really that bad. I think I might just kind of put mine like right here, just kind of on the side of my ribs. It's kind of a nice sensitive spot already. All right, that was an important exercise. Okay, now if you do have some unhappiness in you, which you might, I know I do, imagine that you could get rid of the unhappiness by it simply traveling down your arm, through your hand, through the pen, out of the tip of the pen, and onto the paper. Like imagine you could just pour it right out or squeeze it right out like toothpaste, right? So if you could, imagine you are doing that. And then, I'm imagining it right now and it's making me squeeze the pen really hard. And then just go ahead and do it. Squeeze it all out, okay? Get out. Get all the unhappiness out. We're almost done. Just get it. Get it out. I think I actually I don't know if I got all of it out, but I got some of it out. That worked better than I expected. Now, after that, take a breath to collect yourself. You might feel better, you might not. That might have actually made you feel worse. That's okay too. But now I want you to imagine the opposite thing. That your arm and the pen is actually a siphon for sucking up happiness and good feelings and contentedness and satisfaction, right? All the things you want more of. And as you draw, it just slurps it right off the paper, right? So, yes. Smile. More. Give it to me. Ooh. I think that actually worked too. You could keep doing that for a while if you want. It's one of those things where I think you could just. It kind of works if you tell yourself it does. Okay, in this, the penultimate drawing. And I know you've been following along this whole way. So if you're anything like me, you've got a pile of pieces of paper in front of you with heartfelt drawings all over them. In this drawing, I simply want you to draw your soul. And if you're like me and you don't believe in souls, it's even more important to do this because you can still, imagine what your soul would look like. Okay. Just a shape is fine, okay? I think we did this earlier in the exercise and I got distracted. I'm not sure, I don't remember. It's been so long. This is hard. This almost feels too personal. I'm just starting. I almost wanted to not do it. I feel like I drew in almost like an embryo. Okay. Okay, and the last drawing, I want you to close your eyes and sign your name, but don't use words or letters or your name. Just use lines and shapes or anything but words and letters, okay? Just be like, this is me, this is who I am. Just be thinking and feeling that as you scribble or doodle or write or make a line, okay? I mean, it's for me, I'm already feeling like I'm getting ready to write Peter, so I know it's difficult. Maybe that's why it's a good exercise. Just who are you? It's okay to, I think I'm kind of something like this. That looks cool. All right, thank you for participating, everyone. I hope this was helpful for you. If you're anything like me, life is extremely weird. So it's okay if this exercise is weird. And I hope you will consider trying at least a few of these little exercises for yourself. Whatever you do, don't overthink them. Just scribble. All right, goodbye. Love you. Take care.